Documents in my hands, which I've obtained, show the finance minister's billion-dollar company, Morneau Shepell, has registered its subsidiary in Barbados, which Oxfam lists as one of the 15 top tax havens in the world. Because of a Canada-Barbados tax treaty, companies pay virtually no tax at all on profits they ship back to Canada.
None.
The finance minister's plan to target rich tax evaders goes after family farms and local businesses, but does nothing about tax havens like Barbados. Why?
The Honourable Minister of National Revenue. Mr. Speaker, our government is fully committed to fighting tax evasion and avoidance. In our first two budgets, we invested over $1 billion, which has enabled us, Mr. Speaker, to recover almost $25 billion. There were 670 cases transferred to criminal investigation, 268 warrants conducted, and 78 convictions. Listen to me carefully. Canadians expect nothing less from us.
The Honourable Order. Order. The Honourable Member for Carleton.
According to CBC, quote, part of the draw is Barbados' corporate tax rate of between 1 and 2.5%. And once that modest amount is paid, thanks to the 1980 tax treaty, any leftover profits earned at a subsidiary based or linked to there can be brought back to Canada tax-free. Wow. Yet when the finance minister launched his crusade to target tax cheats, he only went after plumbers and pizza shop owners and farmers, but did nothing about this Barbados loophole. Why?
The Honourable Minister of National Revenue. Mr. Speaker, as I just mentioned, our government has fully committed to fighting tax avoidance and abusive tax evasion, what the government opposite, the Conservative government, didn't do over the past 10 years, Mr. Speaker. We are achieving results. $26 billion we're on the right track to recovering, Mr. Speaker. In addition, cases transferred to the criminal investigations, warrants, convictions. As I said, Mr. Speaker, the trap is closing and we're going to continue our work.
Member for Carleton.
Should talk to the finance minister about that because his billion-dollar family businesses has a certificate of registration in the Barbados. Yet on the very day that the minister rolled out his tax increase on local businesses, he was asked about that, the Barbados Treaty, and he said, but we're not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Why did he forget to mention that the baby in question was a Morneau Shepell subsidiary?
The Honourable Minister of National Revenue. Mr. Speaker, our government is firmly committed to fighting tax evasion, and the $1 billion we've invested has enabled us to hire 100 additional people.
Order. I have to remind members that when they make a lot of noise when it isn't their turn to speak, they could be taking the question away from a colleague.
The Honourable Minister. Mr. Speaker, our government is firmly committed to fighting tax avoidance and abusive evasion. Our results over the past 2 years have shown results. $1 billion invested. This has enabled us to hire 100 additional people, which has enabled us to, in addition, look at 4 jurisdictions each year. The trap is closing.
Honourable Member for Carleton.
The question wasn't whether they're spending more money on tax collectors. The question was with regards to the treaty with Barbados. Now, the finance minister said that he would not do any deal. He would not be involved in any matter. Order.
I'd ask the member for New Westminster Burnaby to try to restrain himself. Order. And I don't want to hear that kind of outburst from him again. The Honourable Member for Carleton has the floor, and I'd invite him to restart his question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The question was not whether or not the Liberal government is spending more money on tax collectors. The question was with regard to the 40-year-long tax treaty that has existed with Barbados. We now find that the minister's billion-dollar family business has a subsidiary in that country. He is forbidden by an agreement with the Ethics Commissioner from being involved in any matters affecting that family business. Can the Honourable Minister confirm that the Minister of Finance has absented himself from any matters related to the Barbados tax treaty?
Honourable Minister of National Revenue. Mr. Speaker, our government is committed to fighting tax fraudsters and with our international partners and to take legal action. I'm proud of the leadership that we have taken on the international scene. The cooperation between tax administrations, including the exchange of tax information, is an essential tool, Mr. Speaker, for the integrity of Canada's tax system.